Hello, Dr. Ellis.
Hey, Pierre, how are you right now?
I'm not feeling good.
I'm sorry to hear that, Pierre. What's weighing on you the most right now?
I am overweight. I just realized that I'm,
Recognizing that can be a tough moment, Pierre. It can stir up a lot of different feelings, maybe frustration, shame, or even fear about where to start. What's coming up for you emotionally as you think about this? And if you're open to it, we can explore small, manageable steps that feel realistic and compassionate for you.
I feel, ashamed, and it's all about, I know what it is. It's all about food addiction. I cannot control what I eat.
That feeling of shame can be so heavy, especially when it feels like food is controlling you more than you're controlling it. Food addiction can create this powerful cycle where eating brings comfort in the moment, but leaves you feeling worse afterward. It's like being caught in a loop that's hard to break. Let's start by acknowledging that this isn't just about willpower. There are real, often complex emotional and physiological factors at play here. Sometimes shifting the focus from control to understanding what food represents in those moments of craving can be the first step. Do you notice certain emotions or situations that trigger this urge to eat, or times when the cravings feel strongest?
Yeah, hold on. What do you mean? Like, is it normal or what? I don't understand.
What I mean is that food addiction often has deeper emotional triggers, like stress, loneliness, or boredom, that fuel the cravings or the urge to eat. Many people find that they reach for food not just because they're physically hungry, but because they're trying to cope with an emotional need. And yes, this is very common. It's normal for people to use food as comfort, especially when emotions feel intense or when life gets overwhelming. Recognizing these triggers or patterns, like certain feelings or situations that make you want to eat, can sometimes help in finding healthier ways to address those needs without turning to food. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, but it's a lot of theory. So right now, I didn't have a breakfast. I supposed to have lunch, but right now it is the way I feel. So what's going to happen? What should I do right now?
I hear you, Pierre. It can feel overwhelming to think about this on a theoretical level when you're just trying to get through today. Let's focus on something concrete for right now. Since you didn't have breakfast and you're in this tough spot with lunch, maybe we can look at what a small, balanced meal might look like for you right now. Instead of aiming for a perfect meal or trying to restrict, consider something simple: a source of protein, some fiber, and a bit of healthy fat to give you steady energy without triggering the urge to overeat. Would it help if we brainstormed a few options that are manageable? We can focus on something that feels nourishing, but not overwhelming.
Yeah, it's a good idea, but right now my routine is I don't have a breakfast and I have lunch, so this is not an option. I just want to share with you a graph from my scale, my smart scale, and just to look at this line, this graph make me feel so depressed and, really in a dark space. I'll share it with you, okay?
I understand, Pierre. Seeing that graph, a visual representation of where things are at, can make everything feel so heavy and discouraging. It's like the numbers are confronting you with something you may already feel deep down, and that can be overwhelming. Sharing the graph with me sounds like a good idea if it helps us look at the situation together, almost like taking a step back to understand what's really going on. Yeah. Sometimes breaking down that data can give us insight without letting it define your worth or progress. When you're ready, go ahead and share it. We can look at it together, and I'll support you in figuring out what it really means for your journey forward.
And it's not about the data, the number, Dr. Ellis. It's just about the image, the graph, the lines. I am a man data and stats, and and to see this, it's like it's really difficult. So I'm gonna share the graph with you.
I get
right
it, Pierre. It's not the numbers themselves. It's the visual impact of that line, that upward trend, and what it represents to you. Being someone who values data and stats, seeing that line going in a direction that doesn't align with how you want things to be can feel like a punch in the gut. It's not just a number. It's a symbol of where things have gone, and maybe even a reminder of how things feel out of control. Let's shift the perspective a little. Instead of seeing it as an indicator of failure or something fixed, we could look at it as just a snapshot, a moment in time. Like any graph, it can change direction, and perhaps we can use it as a starting point for something different without letting it define you. How does that feel to think about?
Yeah, but let me share the graph with you right now, Dr. Ellis. All right?
Absolutely, Pierre. Go ahead and share the graph when you're ready, and we'll take a look at it together.
Can you look at the image, Dr. Ellis? Can you look at the image, Dr. Ellis?
Yes, Pierre, I'm looking at the image you shared. I see the upward trend in weight over the past few months, moving from about 232 pounds in early August to around 243 pounds now. That steady rise can feel discouraging, especially since each data point might represent moments where things felt difficult or where food played a comforting role. Let's work on how to use this as motivation rather than letting it weigh you down. This graph shows where you've been, but it doesn't determine where you can go. How does it feel to consider that this line could start trending downward with small, sustainable changes?
Yeah, let's try this. Okay, so give me, create a short-term plan just for today with bullet point, really short, and then I'll try to do this today. Okay, but remember, my next meal is at noon. I'm eating always the same thing, and I don't know what I'm gonna have for dinner, but draft something really, really short for just today.
All right, Pierre, let's keep this simple and focused on achievable steps for today. 1 noon meal. Since you're consistent with lunch, focus on slowing down while you eat. Try to take a few deep breaths before starting and chew each bite mindfully. This can help with feeling satisfied without needing more. 2, afternoon check-in. Around 3 p.m., take 5 minutes to check in with yourself. Notice if you're feeling any cravings or emotional urges, and jot down a few words about how you're feeling. This can help build awareness without judgment. 3, light activity. Sometime before dinner, aim for a 10-minute walk or stretch. Nothing intense, just enough to get your body moving and lift your mood a bit. 4, dinner. For your evening meal, try to include some protein, a vegetable, and a healthy fat if possible. Don't worry about perfection, just aim for a balanced plate. 5, evening reflection. Before bed, take a few minutes to note how today went, any challenges you faced, and one thing you feel good about. Does this feel doable? Let me know if you want any adjustments.
Okay, I'll try this and I talk to you tomorrow, Dr. Ellis. Is that okay?
That sounds great, Pierre. I'm here for you, and I'm proud of you for being willing to try this. Take it one step at a time, and remember that today is about small, manageable actions. We'll check in tomorrow and see how it went. Take care, and I'll look forward to hearing from you then.